Hey guys, thank you for stopping by here at Comic Rema Records. Today I'm going to keep continuing the series going through the alphabet, and today's video is brought to you by the letter B. This next band I'm really excited to share with you guys. They've been with me for almost a decade of my life. I've really enjoyed this band. Music has really spoken to me musically and spiritually, and really has brought me into heavy meditation. I found out about this band through a friend, a rapper, and wrote lots of songs, and we talked about teaming up and recording some songs. During our conversations, we shared some music and we shared some albums with each other, and this group was one of the albums that he shared with me. One of the things that really stood out for me from this band was the creativity that they had. The nice graphic design that they had was nice and clean. There was no filler stuff on the stuff that they were creating. One of the other things that really grabbed me was that they really believed in giving out their music for free. They lived by the mantra of freely given, freely give. And that really stood out with me, that these guys were not really in the music industry or music for the money, but produce something more grand and exalted. So today's band is Beautiful Eulogy, and this record is their last record they put out called Worthy. And it's definitely worthy if you listen. I will try to put some samples in here of the record, and let me talk a little bit more about this band. Beautiful Eulogy is a trio. It's composed of Curtin Urbano, who produces the beats and the music, and we have Braille, who is one of the lyricists, and then we have Thomas Terry, who is the second lyricist. Before we talk about the group, we have to talk about Braille. Braille was kind of like the inception of the idea for Beautiful Eulogy. If you're not familiar with Braille, Braille has been producing music since about the early 2000s. His lyrical content, as far as his albums, are also worth the listen. So I would recommend a lot of his albums, like Shades of Grey, the 4th edition, and Native Lungs. Talking about Native Lungs, the last record he was working on before forming Beautiful Eulogy was around 2011. So in the process of recording his last album, 2011, he had a lot of discussions and conversations with Thomas and Curtin Urbano. And in 2011, they finally released their first song in a mixtape called King Culture. From then on, the spark of creativity sparked, and they were on their way to create massive, amazing music. Their creativity was sparked. So in 2012, they released their debut album called Satellite Kite, and it is top notch. In 2013, they released their sophomore album called Instruments of Mercy. These two albums are spectacular. Now, as time moves on, life happens. So Curtin Urbano marries, and Thomas becomes a father. And during this whole transition, they are in the process of writing their last album, Worthy. In Worthy, you can definitely see the maturity of each of the members. I don't show a lot of hip hop on this channel, but this is definitely a group that you would enjoy if you are into Mos Def, into Talib Kweli, that type of conscious rap. This is definitely something you would like to sample. Make sure you check out the links below. I've provided some more information and resources down below. So here's a small clip of Beautiful Eulogy kind of explaining the history of Worthy.
Immediately, the title Worthy is causing us to focus on him, and that's a title that can only communicate someone who is God. It does feel like a more mature record in comparison to the other two. I think part of that is life changes, and the other part of it is just like the time that we've all spent together, the three of us, and feeling more confident in who we are as a group. There was no question what we're going to be doing on this album.
Yeah, well, we started this record about 2 years ago, and then we just kind of came into a season where they became really challenging for us.
There was an increasing burden towards pastoral ministry, and so that kind of burden is boiling up. But then on the other hand, I just started experiencing health issues.
We were on the road, and after that run, his body was just thrashed. He said, guys, I just can't give anymore. And so we just decided, okay, we'll wait.
Clip where you can see their creativity as far as musicians and how they record. So a clip from one of their songs.
Living life with no particular religious bend, pretending to be our own gods, inventing our own systems of belief so as to not depend on anything other than our own self-governing consent, defending an impending doom with no perceived need to concede or repent, presuming our innocence in a sense descent. The sting of death was only the inevitable end of everything we can never rightly understand or comprehend, but severely unknown till God made himself known in its own, mending the relationship between God and men, giving his life as a ransom for many when he died and ascended, and in that one event the certainty of eternal death was circumvented, making a way for
who you are, and you will never fail to be who you are. Always on time, always in control. Every knee should bow. You are Lord of all, sovereign, 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 sovereign. From the skies to the seas and everything that lies in between, everything that exists in the universe is dispersed by his decree. He's infinitely supreme and orchestrates all things, the one who sits in the heavens and laughs and does whatever he pleases, who governs the governments and establishes kings, the Prince of Peace who precedes. Rely on my desires, but I treat them like a messiah. I can't always rely on my desires, but I treat them like a messiah.
Whatever it is that gives that feeling that we can't live without, the joys we try to get that only God can give, we highly doubt. What allures and arouses the heart we can't figure out, but it's the quickest way to account for what we prize and are most proud about. These gods make promises, but always lie to us, the kind of lies that says they'll keep us safe and satisfy us. We blame the lies outside of us, but it's the lie that lies inside that captures the depth of desires and false messiahs. We see pleasure in anything, we overestimate everything, endlessly trusting an empty entity, secretly searching for anything in moments of blessing while exiting edicts of Eden over our ecstasy. When a good God gives good gifts, we generally tend to twist the list and take the list of good gifts that God tends to give and make general gods out of gifts. I suppose what exposes the worship in most of us is a close look at most of our thoughts, fears, and emotions.
No matter what.
Once again, thank you for stopping by here at Comic Rama Records. Once again, we are living in the last days, so it's a good time to listen to some positive and influential music that will produce nice positivity in our lives. God bless you guys. I'll see you on the next one. Next week, we'll do the letter C. Go ahead and sample the record and enjoy some Beautiful Eulogy. God bless.
Our hope for this record is that you walk away not thinking about Beautiful Eulogy, but you walk away thinking about God, and that you would be compelled and driven into worship.